Welcome to CivilNet. As we speak every week about Turkey, the last week's developments, this week we will also talk about news about Turkey, but not about Turkey exactly, because we have a group of Turkish journalists now in Yerevan. One of them is Vildan Ay from HaberTurk. She's a presenter and producer and a journalist from HaberTurk News TV station. And she's one of the journalists in the group of Turkish journalists who are now visiting Yerevan with the Hrant Dink Foundation. Vildan, you're welcome in our studio.
Thank you so much.
Vildan, this is not your first time. You have been here 2 years ago with another group of Turkish journalists, not with the Hrant Dink Foundation, with another mission. This is your second time, and what has changed from your first visit?
Within these 2.5 years, lots of change, as I observed in Yerevan streets, in the means of architects. I guess huge construction works is going on in the streets of Yerevan. But beyond that, what has changed? The thing is, we are at, the bilateral relations between two countries is at a worse point than it used to be before, which is very sad. And also, we are sharing a common problem, let's say a problem, an issue. What's going on in Syria is affecting both countries in different ways. First of all, we have people, we have brothers, sisters living there, and who has to leave their countries. And you are hosting lots of people from Syria, we are hosting lots of people from Syria. And so the issue of Syria is now bigger and bigger within these 2.5 years. I guess that's all.
Well, I will ask from the other point, from the other side, what has changed in Turkey about Armenia since 2 years? You have written a lot of news and articles. You have extensively covered news about Armenia in that period. Now you're going back and you will write a lot of material about Armenia also. During this period, you have also been writing about Armenia. What are your impressions? What has changed in Turkey regarding Armenia? But maybe you can start by telling us the image of Armenia in Turkish media. Not Armenians, but Armenia itself.
The thing is, Turkey is about to forget the protocol process and the normalization process between two countries, which is so sad. Because 3 years ago, still the protocol process was not that forgotten, and there are still more people leading that process or supporting that process. But within these 3 years, lots of things happened related to the foreign policy of Turkey, and which made the public, even the media, forget the Armenian-Turkish normalization process. And the thing is, when we speak about the image of Armenia, we see that in Turkish media, you barely see or read or watch any news related to Armenia and Armenians, because we have lots of Armenians living in Turkey under Turkish citizenship. But related to Armenia, there must be something really big about Armenia to be covered by Turkish media. Because, first of all, Turkish media covers less foreign politics than local politics. Because local politics is huge, the debate is so big. It's such a polarized country, and always the government and opposition is arguing with each other, which make local news so much more important in the eye of journalists. And so it gives the international news a little space. And within that already small space, news about Armenia can't find a place for them. Because, as I told you, many people already forgotten the process, the normalization process, and why we need this. And they forget about the reason, they forget about the motivation of the process. And every April 24, all the Turkish people and the Turkish media and the Turkish politicians remembers that we have a frozen problem in the fridge. But it's just remembered around April, not in January or September. Because the issue between Turkey and Armenia is so related to, in a very, for me, in a very wrong way, so related to the genocide issue. So, Turkish media, for me, the worst thing about covering Armenia, the worst thing is lack of information and lack of coverage.
Maybe it's the contrary in Armenia, because you see news about Turkey in Armenian media, almost every day. Maybe that's for other reasons, but let's talk about the point that Turkish media is extensively covering about Armenia on April 24, but the other months, the other days of the year, it totally forgets it maybe.
If something's happening in Karabakh, if something's happening at the border,
there is nothing major. If there is nothing big, there is no news about Armenia. But next year, as you know, it's the 100-year centenary of the Armenian genocide. And there are huge expectations, there are huge plans by both sides, and even more maybe in Turkey. As you know, the Prime Minister also made some announcement that they will do a big celebration of the centenary of the Gallipoli. Do you think that these things will help maybe in another way, maybe not willingly, but it will also help to make more news about Armenia, perhaps in Turkey?
At least it may affect the issue in a way that, like putting out of the frozen process out of the fridge, maybe. I'm not sure about that. But yes, you're right about that. That's the thing. Because it's getting closer and closer each day. Now in Turkey, everything focuses on the presidential election, but it's going to be over one day. And after that, especially with the new year, people will start to think about what are they going to see at April 24, especially the statement coming from the White House, because each year, every journalist is waiting for that statement and waiting for the answer whether the President Obama would use the word genocide, or is he going to say Nazi again and again. This is a big issue in Turkey. And yes, Turkish state or Turkish government announced that they are going to celebrate or commemorate the anniversary of Gallipoli, but it will be in March. So I guess from both sides, they don't have a master plan yet. They're not sure about what to do yet. But Prime Minister Erdogan's statement was a surprise for all of us. As a journalist and as a citizen of Turkey, it was a surprise for me. So maybe we would see any new surprises from Turkish government.
And as we mentioned in the beginning, you're now here with a group of journalists from Turkey. And of course, this is not the first time. It has been several groups of Turkish journalists coming to Yerevan. Is this helping, in your opinion? Is this helping to Turkish journalists to have more access? From your personal experience, what can you tell us?
Sometimes I'm so optimistic, sometimes I feel pessimistic. So, let's start with the optimistic approach. Yes, that's helping a lot, because we have to build bridges between us. Because there is a closed border, there are politicians who are not speaking to each other, so we have to overcome the issues between us by building these bridges. And media, inviting journalists from each state to each other is helping, because media has the voice of the public. So they have the power to reach thousands, hundreds, even millions of people at the same time by our news items, by broadcasting, by covering the stories. So by reaching one single journalist, you may reach millions of people. Yes, this is the optimistic approach about this dialogue process. And also, by just considering us as individuals, as a Turkish girl who has never been to Armenia before, if I wasn't, it would be my first time here. It would be my first time to meet someone from Armenia. And it would be the first time that I have the chance to speak about the issues between two countries. So by considering this, yes, this is very helpful. But sometimes my pessimistic side comes up and it says that, yes, we are putting efforts on it. We are trying to contribute to the process. But the politicians, they're doing nothing. Even they are downsizing the efforts that we put. And they do things that is very harmful for the process. And why are we trying then? I mean, if these politicians won't get together, and also the people who are already getting together are the people who believe in peacemaking, dialogue, who believe in creating relations between each country. But what about the majority out there? When I'm thinking about Turkey, I'm not sure about Armenia, but when I'm talking about Turkey, I'm saying that there are a mass of people who wouldn't, dare to even think about these issues. They are so happy with their daily life. They don't care about process, dialogues, peacemaking, and even they don't want to build relations with Armenia. And sometimes I'm pessimistic, but mostly I am optimistic. So sometimes I define myself as desperately optimistic. Even the desperate times, even we don't have anything to rely on, I guess we should keep putting efforts on this process.
Well, Vildan, you still have a few more ahead, a few days more ahead of you, so you'll have a lot of meetings and you'll do many reports about Armenia. Wish you good luck. Wish you have a good stay. Thank you for coming and thanks for following us on CivilNet.